Good morning to all. I hope this comes out well because I've been battling with the Zoom thing this morning for I don't know why. Welcome to another edition of our racing for today from Greyville, our preview. Before I start doing the preview, I just want to quickly run through a few things. First of all, again, outside of Genie, my goal is to tip outsiders so that the punters can put that into their play. Whatever play you do, trifectas, wins, places, quartets, exactas, PAs, pick sixes. I give you horses that I think will are capable, outsiders that are capable of either winning or placing. Yesterday I gave it at Tiverton, I gave you guys Ronnie's Candy at opening price of 20 to 1. I'm not sure what it jumped at, but at that time when I did tip it, it was 20 to 1, and I also gave you Riverine 53 to 1. As a matter of fact, I tipped the first free past the post in that race. So if you follow that, you got everything. The swingers, the exacta paid over 200 rand, trifecta over 1,000 rand, and a quartet for a 360 rand box. You would have gotten just under 6,000 rand. So yeah, that is outsider Genie. I normally give 3 selections per race. The first one is the one that I think will win the race, and then the other 2 is my outsiders in no particular order. From the 1st of July, but it's already open now. You can already subscribe now. I'm offering a service at 500 rand a month, where you will receive a race by race selections. You will receive my value 2 value bets of the day. And normally, if they don't win, they do run places, sometimes paying up 5 rand, 8 rand. The other day, I tipped a horse that paid 12 rand for a place. And then I give you my best bet for the day. Now, I don't do like other tipsters. They give you a 9 to 10 shot, and then they think they're doing you a favor. I really give horses that's best bet for the day, that has also got some value in it. Like the other day, I tipped a horse from Kannemeyer, something socks. That was like 6 to 1. That was my best bet of the day. And I've done that often where I've tipped 4 to 1s, 9 to 2s, 3 to 1s as the best bet of the day. Because at the end of the day, I want to give you value. I just want to mention that, you know, a lot of people call me a tipster, and I don't see myself as a tipster. I see myself as a form analyzer. I analyze form. That is what I do. I've been using computer form now for nearly 47 years. I started when I was 13 years old. I'm turning 60 in September. So there's not a lot you can tell me about reading the computer form. And that is what I use. And I can also give you some advice. You know, if you want to really make, you know, in horse racing, you need to have the right tool. And one of the right tools you need to have is the computer form. You cannot punt out of a newspaper. It's just not possible. Or even the tab sheets that you get. So, yeah, that is just quickly. And last thing, do subscribe to this channel so that when I post my video every day of the race meeting review, you get a notification. Also ring the bell so that you can receive the notification. So, and that is that. Now let's start with race 1. Now, in race 1, I want to tip you an outsider, and I know I am, you know, it's not every guy that can put down his head, but if this horse, Naval Secret number 9, runs to his breeding, there's nothing in this race that will touch it. I can tell you that today. But yeah, it's also always difficult with a first timer, but this is a very, very well-bred horse. Let's quickly look at the betting. I normally look at the betting. I just forgot now. The Candyman 15 to 10, Naval Secret 33 to 10. Maybe you should have a few rand on, because if they come into the ring and this horse looks well, you're not going to get 33 to 10. Winter Guard 4 to 1. Garamius 13 to 2. Purple Powerhouse 13. The rest 21, 20 and upwards. The rest of the field. So value. I think there's value in the 33 to 10. You should be looking to take that. In my outsider selections for the day for this race is number 6, and number 6 is Purple Powerhouse, What a Winter, out of a Kabul mare. A nice speed there, What a Winter, and Kabul always used to throw horses with speed. This horse is running there and thereabouts. Last time out, good pace, still late. You know, so I really think this horse drawn 6. It will be involved in a finish, and therefore don't leave it out of your selections. Then my other selection, my other outsider selection in this race is number 10. Let's just look at number 10 quickly. That is number 10 is Garolius. I don't know how to pronounce the name. One thing that I just want to mention, and this byword, this stallion is really a stallion that do throw some good horses. You know, so yeah, you can look at. I think last week there was a byword that won at long odds. Okay, so this horse has won at one run except his barrier trial. Last time out, ran second behind Captain Opie, and he ran on well, 22.1, 400 to finish. That is definitely not a bad time for a horse to run 400 to finish. Slow, moved up well. The draw might be a slight concern. Then let's have a quick look at some other horses in this race. Your favorite, number 5, Candyman, nothing wrong. Also run well last time on Scottsville. Drawn 5, definitely back, ran on. Last time ran on. Yeah, also Captain L out of Candy Stripes, me, well bred, definitely within a chance. I don't say it can't win. Please, sometimes when I tip something, it doesn't mean that this other horse doesn't have a chance. So there's a nice, also this number 2, Free Storybook, had a nice debut, pace, no finish, behind Light that loose, but it was a little bit behind. Yeah, so another improver that you might look at is number 2, Lightning Spirit. Also, last time out, I don't know what happened there, no show. But before that, was involved in the finish on the 1400 meters. Okay, now it's back over 1200 meters. So that is race number 1. Let's go to race number 2. Race number 2 is Durban Dash. I always thought the Dash is over 1,000 meters, but this one 1,100. And let us look at the betting quickly before I proceed. The betting here, race number 2, Rio Kiorari, Justin Smith, marker 17 to 10. We Light the Fire 5 to 2, African Warrior 11 to 2, Binoche, that 13 to 2, Golden Track the 12 to 1, the rest 20 to 1, and upwards. This is a horse that I will talk to you about now, number 9, Montreal Mist. I'll just make a note, 28 to 1. So in this race, you know, this is like the best, you know, you go about handicapping, so the best handicap horse, because this is a plate race, so it's not like a handicap. I just want to quickly mention one of the things that I look at is this. When I look for, you know, my selections, I always look at that, the computer from class and the average merit rating. And then if that is like class A and a 97, then you do compare it here with the ability rating of the horses it ran before. So you can see number 1 ran against 95 and 100 last time out. And this is instantly also my number 1 is my first choice, Binoche. It's well drawn, carrying 53.5. I really think that this horse will be involved in the finish. Then my other selections is number 4. That's my outsider selection, number 4, Celtic Warrior. Also, you know, always a horse that's there and thereabouts. Last time out, faded a little bit after the long rest, but shoots to fitter. Warren Kennedy riding, drawn 4 for Kotson. Just interested, this horse is by Vercingetorix, and I think number 1 is also by Vercingetorix. It's a filly against the Colts and Geldings, but this filly can run a bit. Then I want to talk about number 9. Number 9 is Montreal Mist, also a filly carrying 53.5. The draw might be a little bit of a concern, but not much. Has run well, you know, has won over this on this course, but over the 1200 meter beating Spirit of the Groove, and Spirit of the Groove is no shouts. There by Nicky knew it was stubborn at the start, stubborn, broke through, stumbled. I'm sure they would have, Sean Terry would have worked on her jumping abilities, and I'm looking for this filly to give a good account of herself today. I just quickly want to go back here to the top, and if you want to look at it, you'll see that Your best handicap is African Warrior. I personally feel this horse is a bit of form, but it says you're unbeaten this race course, so might have a good chance. Then Banouche, then Montreal Miss. You see that I spoke to Montreal Miss, and I only noticed this after I've looked at my selections, and then I see they've got Montreal Miss actually at the first best handicap horse. Yeah, but there's other horses in this race got chances. Rio Ferrari has got a chance. Then there's a horse here, We Light the Fire. It's second favorite, but on the weights, it is a little bit out on the weights, but the horse is improving. But if you look there, 85, 73, 76, 85, 86, so I personally think this horse is going to battle to win this race, but I might be wrong. Let's look at African Warrior quickly. They say unbeaten on this course, 4 runs, 4 wins, and that was the only 4 wins. But that was last year. I've seen sometimes horses go from 2-year to 3-year-old, and then they don't carry the 2-year-old form. And personally, I really think that is the situation here, because last time behind Eden Rock, he didn't show anything. And I actually took Eden Rock because Eden Rock was a Grade 1 winner, and he did arrive again, carrying his 2-year-old form through to his 3-2. You'll see there's Eden Rock there when it won the gold medallion, and then like a year later it won again, and so it carried its 2-year-old form to his 3-year-old. So let then move on to race number 3. where I'm going to have a look at the betting now. The betting, also a very open race, 2-year-olds, lots of chances, because sometimes they improve like you can't believe. So let us quickly look at the betting there on race 3. The betting is number 3, Due Diligence, 22-10, Zaki riding. I don't know who's going to ride this horse. 3-1, Karaluma. Trickster 92, Emerald Place 11-1, Jasmine 11-1, Keep the Lights on 12-1 and 15-1, and upwards the rest. So here my first selection is number 4, Karaluma. A horse that really surprised me, Stallion is Pomodoro. He really throws some nice horses, and I watched this race at the Val. Wow, this horse was sitting 6 lengths behind, and then the next moment it was like in front, and he won easing up the Turfontein of 1400 meters. Hewitson just eased up on a horse about 100 meters before the line already. So I think this race is number 4 is going to be the winner of this race. Then another horse that I like is my outsider selection is number 5, Jasmine. Now, if you look at this, it's also by Futura, and I think this stallion has got a future. He's thrown some nice winners. But now I want to show you something. This horse over the 1200 meter at Scottsville, Keep the Lights On, came from behind, 2.2 free rings, and then, but look at that, 21.7. Now, guys, if that time is correct, this horse ran, a very good last 400 to finish, and then the 1400 meters should actually suit it even better, because it's also by UK stallion Dices, and he has thrown some good mares. I don't know the mare, but I do know that stallion. He has thrown some decent horses in his time. So definitely a horse that you should look at. And then my other selection is number 11. Now this is interesting. Number 11 is Keep the Lights On. Now that horse ran second behind. It's still it's also a filly. Carrying 58, drawn, but the draw can be a problem. But ran behind Jasmine. She was like in front, and then Jasmine just came past her, but she did shift it. She did shift in at the 200 meters, so that maybe it could have gone closer. I don't know, but I think with this Visionaire breeding, this horse would also be looking at the 1400 meters. Might be a horse to watch to run on at the end. I then have other horses. Yes, Trickster with Snaven markers on. It won well over Scottsville, 1200 meter, took over late. Then there's State of Mind, the first timer by Sale, Jasmine. And then we have to look at Due Diligence. Jockey is now going to be Zaki. And it won well in Joburg, and it's drawn free here. And definitely without it, not a chance. I mean, Spring of Carmela, Waratina, they're not donkeys. Medical Flight won free races. And on the breeding, she definitely like the 1400 meter, the extra 400 meters also can make a difference. So also a horse to definitely include into your play. Then we move on to race number 4. Race number 4 is a listed event over 1400 meters. And let's look at here. The class here is, again, just for interest sake, there's no rating there because some of them are still young. So let's quickly look here. My first choice is number 3, Kaysen. And give me the green light. I really like that stallion as well. Last time out, it won by 2.6. Croft shifted out, and it still won on its coconut. It really won well on Gravel 1200. I don't think the extra 200 will be a problem. It was 13 to 20 in the betting. That is my first choice. Then my second choice here in race number 4 is number 4, Gold Season. Also, give me the green light, Colt. Now, the Fortunes are no fools. They won't bring this horse all the way from Joburg to come and run here. Although it's still a maiden, but it had a very nice first time out. Ran on late, 23.6, forced at 400 to finish. And I'm sure they're bringing this horse, and that this horse will be involved in the finish. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Let's quickly have a look at the betting. Oh, we did have a look at the betting. Oh no, we didn't. That is race 3, race 4. Here your favorite is number 11, Fast Love 16 to 10. Again, Marcus Kotson, 53 to 10. Master of Disguise. Gold Season is 15 to 2. Kaysen 15 to 2. Gold Season was 7 to 1, now 15 to 2. Litchfield 14, 40. King's Crusade. Walls of Dubrovnik 16 to 1, and then 20 to 1 and upwards the others. So let's just move back to that. So my other outsider selection is number 7, Walls of the as number 7, yeah. Walls of Dubrovnik. This is by a fencing master. It's not a well-known stallion. I do think this comes out of Zimbabwe, but it's by Dynasty Mare. I like Dynasty Mares. He really upgrades his Mares Dynasty. Now, this horse has never had a good barrier trial. Then jumped at 75 to 1 on its first race, ran third, then won 2 races in a row. And last time out in a small feature, it was fourth behind a horse called Tempting Fate, which they think a lot of. Sorry about that, my voice gets a bit dry when I talk so much. Now, but the thing that also I want to look at this. Fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish, third fastest, but under 23 seconds. Any horse that finishes under 23 seconds on a 400 finish, 22.4, that is, it says here, lost two links, crop shifted, everything went wrong. I'm sure this horse is going to be running on when other horses will be stopping, and I think it was 16 to 1. 16 to 1, yeah, 16 to 1, it can't hurt to put that into your quartets. Yeah, then let's quickly look at a few other horses. Number 11, Fast Love is your favorite. It's a master of my fate, Colt, out of respect to me. Won very well first time out, drawn 11. That might be a little bit of a concern, but it really won well. Also 23.7, 400 to finish. So definitely in with a shout. Also won over a 1400 on the poly. So first time out on the turf. So let's see what it can do. Definitely not a horse that you can lose, leave out of your pick 6 and so on. Number 10, King's Crusade, had also a nice race over 1200 meters, 22.4, 400 to finish. Second fastest, slow crop misuse. So also a horse that can be involved in the finish. Many horses with chances. So let's move on to race number 5. Now, race number 5 is the Tibishunat Stakes. Sorry if I pronounced that wrongly, but let's look at the betting quickly. The betting is Temple Graffin. It's 12 to 5. I, know, I always found it difficult when I give the betting like that, so then I quickly have to do a bit of mathematics. That should be about, if I'm not mistaken, round about 22 to 10, round about there. I can be wrong. Savannah's Pride 33 to 10, Gabor 9 to 2, Master of Geese 17 to 2, 17 to 2, Sleeping Single, Spirit of Groove 10, and 17 to 1, and upwards the others. Scratched, I just saw that this horse was scratched now. I actually fancied it, but I see just now is scratching. So let's go back to our selections. Yeah, that throws up the upper card a little bit. So race number 5, my first selection is number 7, Gabor. Now, guys, this horse has been raced for a long time, but it's over 1400 meters, but it's out of King's Barnes. I can tell you now, I think King's Barnes is going to be one of the stallions of the future. You can follow his children. They are running well out of Sia Gabor, which was a good mare by Trippy. This horse has had 3 runs, 2 wins, but it also comes off a long race, 27th of July. But what I did was, I just wanted to show you this. Oh my goodness, now we're going to battle again to get this thing. Okay. Now, Gabor won a future on, when was that future? On, let's quickly check. It was the Equitini Stakes. The Equitini Stakes at the 27th of July. Now, if you look what she beat that day, many winners has come out of that race. Mill Queen has won directly behind that. Snow Palace, also no donkey, has won twice. Victoria Page is always there and thereabouts, and I think Victoria Page will win a few races. Then there is True to Life. True to Life won 3 races. Gaelic Princess won 2 races. And even the horse that finished last, which was like 6 lengths behind, Sweep Off My Feet, won first time out, last time Sweep Off My Feet. So I really think that is strong form, and I do think that Gabor here at 92, nice bet, the horse to beat. Then we just look at outsiders. Well, number 2 was one of my outsider selections. So, and also then number 3, Master Keys. Master Keys is always there and bears about Master of My Faithfully by Tiger Reach. Always runs well, drawn free. She's always there. Has run against some good horses. Royce Rivera, that was a future. Pretty Young Thing last time out was second behind, slow, classy. So I do think that Master Keys will be involved in the finish. Then my other selections was that also then I think number 2 I'm going to replace with number 4, Spring of the Groove. I really think that this horse is, has got a little bit of ability. A visionary mare, drawn 4. Not sure who's going to ride it, but she's also run against the better horses in the country. And I don't know what went wrong last time, but midfield no show. But let us give it another chance. Especially over the 1400 meters. I think the 1400 meters will suit her better. She also won the Empress beating Gagan Glory before. So I think the 1400 meter will suit her better. The 1200 meters, she was just going to be a little bit outpaced. Yeah, then Savannah's Pride. I think Savannah's Pride has won, this course distance before in November. Kenilworth, she won of 1400 meters. So, but she's very versatile. She can run over shorter and longer distances. Has run against Running Brave as well, Queen Supreme, Clouds Unfold. So definitely a horse with ability. Ferrari is now with Louis Goosen. And then there's Table Graffin. Table Graffin has also run against the best, Santa Clara, Celtic Sea, Savannah's Pride, Celtic Sea again, Clouds Unfold, Pretty Young Thing. But I don't know. I think my personal opinion, and please, this is just my personal opinion. I hope I don't put you off. I think the reason that this horse is favorite is because of the jockey Anton Marcus. But that's just my opinion. So then let's move off to the next race, which race 6 is the Hollywood's Gold Challenge Grade 1. What a race this is going to be. Let's look at the betting. And 12 to 5, Vardy, Rainbow Breach 5 to 2, Do It Again 5 to 1, Twist of Fate 13 to 2, Clouds Unfold 7, Xarello 10, Matador 25. Oh, Royal Enough is also scratched. Okay, I wonder what's going on there because it's both Robinson horses. But anyway, I'm not going to worry about that now. But anyway, the distance was too short for him. So this is going to be a very open race, and everybody is shouting Vardy. And I can tell you with conviction in my heart that last time out I didn't fancy this horse to win Vardy. I thought the 1400 meter was too short. This horse is a good horse. His rating shows it as well. But I want to discuss another very good horse. And it's actually from the same stable, but I'm fancying my chances today with Twist of Fate. That is my choice. This horse never gives up, although last time, it only says 422 days, but this horse doesn't race often. And I think today, course and distance, 2 run, 1 win, 1/3. Last time out behind Gigi's Dynasty, 23 seconds, pipped at the post over the 1600 meter Scottsville. There it was behind Do It Again. Fourth behind Rainbow Reach. I really think that this horse has got a chance to turn the tables with Vardy, and all the other ones has run well behind One World, and that is my selection. Then for outsider selection is number 1, which is now scratched, and then my other outsider was number 8, Cirillo. Cirillo, I think it's also run against the best there behind Terra de Fielgo. That ran Terra de Fielgo ran third yesterday. The horse ran 1.5 behind by Wam. And if you look how Wam won yesterday, yeah, I'm sure it has got a chance. But I now also say, then we have a look at Rainbow Breach. Now it can happen today that this mare can have 3 winners after the weekend. Yesterday, a warm one. He's halfway to heaven. Then we got Rainbow Reach running, and then in the next race in the Daily News, you got Golden Ducat. So if they all 3 win, I think that would be some kind of a record, a world record. This horse is also a very good horse. I do feel that the 1600 meters is maybe just a bit too short for him. But Rainbow Reach is one of my choices to win the Durban July. And I'm going to stick, this is one of the horses I'm going to stick with for the Durban July. And I think we're expecting a bold run here today. But again, the 1600, although it has won over the 1600 meters when it was younger, but it can be that it lost a little bit of its speed over the 1600 meters, but definitely not without a chance. So this is going to be one hell of a race to watch. So then we move on to the Rex race, race number 7. Also going to be a very interesting race. The Will Havington 2000. It's a grade 1 for fillies. There's not a lot of grade 1s for fillies, and this is surely going to be one of those races that's going to be remembered for a long time. So let's have a look. Here we've got 2 unbeaten mares, Summer Pudding and Lady of Steel. Now, what's going to happen here? And then we got 8 to 1 Kelpie, 10 to 1, 12 to 1 Victoria Page, 60 to 1 Marigold, Mary O, Follow the Stars, Labyrinth, and then 53 to 1. Now, here I'm going to put my head on a block, and after this race, either people are going to laugh at me, or they're going to say you're a fool, or I'm going to be applauded. I don't know which one, but sometimes you have to put your, you have to put your head on a block. Now, we got number 2, Lady of Steel. Lady of Steel has never run over the 2,000 meters. So this will be a test for her. She comes off 5 runs, 5 wins. Then number 3, Summer Pudding, has 6 runs, 6 wins. But I can tell you now, I'm not a trainer, but I can tell you as a trainer would tell you that winning these 3, this Triple Crown and over this different distance do take something out of a horse. I do believe Summer Pudding is a very good horse, and I was looking to tipper for the July, but we'll see what happens today. But I just feel that this horse, you know, this racing and then the traveling must take out of something out of her. So I'm putting my head on the block on this horse. As I said, I might be a fool afterwards. I don't know. The only thing that, the one thing about this, my choice is the number 13 draw. But the way this horse runs, it really, I feel that, you know, coming from behind, and this is number 13, Labyrinth. If you look at his horse, always running on progress from near, in control, hampered late, and then she still ran on second. But look at it, fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish, fastest 400 to finish. There she was second fastest behind Kelpie, which is also in the same race. But I feel that number 13, Labyrinth, you cannot leave out on any of your bets. As I said, maybe I'm a fool. The first two might, the top two might win in the betting. Yes. But if you're looking for something to beat them, this would be the horse to go for. This horse initially ran over shorter distances, but once she started going over longer distances, she really improved. Right, so that is my selection to win this race, number 13. Then for my outsider selections, I went with number 1. Please note, as I said again, I just want to make it clear, I don't say number 2 and number 3 can't win. I'm just looking, if they get beaten, who will be the horses that can beat them. Now, if you look at number 1, Driving Miss Daisy, she ran well behind Mississippi Burning. Last time out over the 1600 meters, she had a handy no finish, but maybe today they're going to sit with her. She's well drawn. She ran 2.5 lengths behind Queen Supreme, who did yesterday disappoint us, and Queen Supreme has disappointed us before. But let's give Driving Miss Daisy, another chance. Another horse is with, that I just want to mention, and I think this horse is like 50 to 1. Sovereign Secret. It's 45 to 1. Now, this horse is really well bred. Dynasty, all is secret. It is bred in the purple as the color that it's wearing here. And if you play a quartet and you play a multiple quartet, put this horse in for the third and fourth, because this horse would also gonna love this distance. Far back, can improve, got going late. Okay, late progress behind Kelpie, stayed on from the rear. So definitely Sovereign Secret, not to leave out, and definitely include in your quartets and trifectas. So let's move on to the next race. And the next race is race number 8, which is the Daily News. And what a race this is going to be as well. There's so many good races today. And here in this race, I'm going for number 4, Golden Ducat. I think the 1600 last time was too short, gaining late, was coming from behind, was coming like a steam train. And I just, look at it first. I just think today Golden Ducat is going to be too strong in this race. It is one of the favorites. Let us look at the betting quickly. Golden Ducat, 28 to 10. Okay, then got the green light, 33 to 10, 5 to 1, Wild Coast, Shango 5 to 1, Sanjay 13 to 2, Padre Pio 12 to 1, Liberty 16 and 20 to 1, and upwards the others. So number 4, Golden Ducat, as I said, also the son of Halfway to Heaven. If he wins, and the other 2 wins, that will be a remarkable weekend for the mare. So my outsider selections is number 6, Padre Pio. Also just got beaten by Wild Coast, and I think if they can ride this horse with a little bit of restraint, it has won over 1800 meters, one comfort, unchallenged. And there is Dennis Boss is on record to say that this Padre Pio is a very, very good horse and shouldn't be discarded. Last time out when it won at 12 to 1, I made a few rand on it. Then my other selection is number 9. Number 9 is Shazdev, also Snave and Marcus, draw 9. This horse is always there and there about just hovering behind Golden Ducat, just under the length behind Wild Coast. So definitely a horse, and it's, you know, and also going to be involved in a finish. A Silvano out of a Gubu mare, very well bred. But there's many horses who have chances in this race. It's not just these. Now, if we have a quick look, um, number 5 got a green light. He's also a Grade 1 winner. Won well on 1800 over the 1800, and then also came from behind in the Derby. But you're not sure how much the Derby took out of the horse, over 24.50. Then there's Shango, also a very nice horse, has got ability, has won some good races, and you know, can make an impact. Wild Coast last time out won well, came up and won on the post, finished well. Look at that first 400 to finish 22 to 1, 22 to 1, 24.4, 23.6, and then 24.9. So it also got a very good chance. So a very open race. Oh yeah, this is a son of Beach Beauty. Oh, that's interesting, by Trippy. So do have a chance. Then we move on to race number 9. Race number 9 is a merit rated 99 in the cap. So just for interest, if you want to look here, class A, 92 rating, average rating. So you would be looking for horses that is above that rating. So let's look at number 2. And now, number 2 for me is not above the rating, but what gets me is just 4 kilograms. This horse is only going to carry 51, drawn to, and this horse is always involved in the finish. And I really think that this horse is over this distance of 1600 meters. Is a Silvano out of Almaty mare, shouldn't have a problem over this 1600 meters. Is definitely going to be involved in the finish. And with this apprentice -4 at 51, we're definitely going to give the guys a run for their money. Let's quickly just check the betting quickly. And the betting is Arizona Silk 12 to 1. Oh my goodness. Favorite 22 to 10, Gura's Pride. Vikram 5 to 2, Power of Victory 10 to 1. Arizona 12, Williams Land 14, Pearl of Asia, and 20 to 1 and upwards the other. 2 horses that I'm also going to look at just for interest sake is 14, the Bayou. And oh, I see this was a scratch now. Number 13 was also one of my selections, but I see it is scratched now. So let us just go back. And so yeah, this is my first selection. And my second selection would have been is number 7. Number 7, Twice Golden. Now this horse is also getting -2.5, only carrying 55. But if you look at that, has run against some decent D behind Black Ball, Merlin from Berlin. Merlin from Berlin has won 3 or 4 races. Last time out at Special Brent Slow. But I do think that this horse has got the ability. It might just be a little bit short for him, but can run into places. And then another horse I want to discuss with you is this horse, number 14, the Bayou. Now, this horse is always there and thereabouts, and it's run against some good horses. There it runs against Guru's Pride. Guru's Pride carrying 62, it goes carrying 55. I'm not sure it's going to be the Boki. Last time, it's behind Noble Joysa. It says here past some. So I've got the idea that this number 14 will be involved in the finish today. So definitely not a horse to leave out, especially at 20 to 1. Then, yeah, there's a lot of other horses who've got chances. Paths of Victory, also -4, but it's already carrying 63 -4. So it's now on 59. Okay, but also the distance looks a little bit short, the short side for it. But the lower weight can definitely make an impact. If you look at it, it's got a rating of 100 to 1, 100 to 1, 101. So definitely this horse has run against some stronger opposition. Let's look at some more. African Sunrise is scratched. Williams Land, yeah, has run against also strong horses. Can be involved in the finish. The drawn 9, also a horse that you can maybe include in your play if you want to. Goodest Pride is the favorite. This horse has run 3 horses races. Last time out in the future, finished behind Wild Coast. So when this race is run, you would be able to see where Goodest Pride is in relation with Wild Coast, because Wild Coast can be a pointer for you. Twice Golden Noble, Joshua scratched. Vikram Fadeb also have a chance, always dead and thereabouts. Okay, so then let's move on to the next race, the last race. The last race is sorry about that. I'm just scrolling down. Race 10 is a maiden plate, and let's look at the betting first. Number 1 in Oro. I think that 11 to 10, 11 to 2, Declaration of 4, 7 to 1, 8 to 1 to Chaba, Alboro, 14 to 1. The rest, Kenneth MacArthur, 15 to 1. So let us quickly have a look. I'm thinking that today that this horse, number 1, definitely in Oro, will definitely go close. But you know, a very astute punter once told me, he said to me, you back a horse till it loses, not till it wins. And in Oro also looks to me one of those horses which you're only going to back it, you know, every time it's going to lose. The horse originally cost 500,000 Rand. Now it has run a lot of places, and now I think deserves one last chance. But after this, if it doesn't win this race, then yeah, definitely you won't be looking to punt on him anymore. So the other, I've picked up a nice outsider view here, which you can include. This horse is 20 to 1, Kenneth MacArthur. This horse ran here 2.7, 12 at the 1400 meter. It finished third fastest, 425.3. It was over the 1400 meters, and today we're running over a 1900 meters. Okay, so I think that will already be a big difference for this horse. It's because it's out of our ideal world by Annabelle. Annabelle is also a little bad stallion. And then last time, over the 1400 lag, no show behind Frankie Two Shoes. That was in March. Now it rested, the rest is coming back from a rest, and they've put on Mr. Dillon, and I'm sure that this horse will run an improved race. Then race 10, number 5 for my outsider. That is Kenneth MacArthur. I just discussed that, and then other outsider is number 8, Chewbacca Silvana out of a Jetmaster May. Wow, what a breeding! And I'm sure this 1900 meters is going to be much more to the liking of number 8. And number 8 currently is 8 to 1 in the betting. Surely you can include that into your play. Yeah, so this is then our preview for today's race meeting at Greyville. I just want to remind you again that, you know, as I said, I've got a subscription going, 500 Rand a month. You get all the selections, and let me know should you be interested. You can my number. You can find the details below in the description box. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day. And I hope you make a lot of money. Break a leg.